are continuing on to page 54. We're going to look at how to play two notes at the same time here on the guitar. So one of the first things we're going to notice is that it's going to be pretty much impossible to play well two notes at the same time with rest stroke, and so we don't play two notes at the same time with rest stroke. The technique for playing two notes at the same time with I, M, and A, or I, M, or A, or any combination of the two is pretty much always free stroke. Okay, now, second thing we need to realize is that in order to play two notes at the same string, we're going to use two fingers. So it's either going to be I and M and A, or I and A at the same time, okay? Third thing we need to recognize is that we can only play one note at a time per string. So when we have two notes at the same time, we're playing two strings at a time. And so in this example, we see in these first two measures, it's the notes C and the note E all at the same time. And so we have E open, and we have C on the second string. And what we do is we get those fingers lined up, and so make sure you watch both those camera angles there. I'm just holding the note C and the note E at the same time, and I strike through them and bring my hand into a ball. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times, or 3, 4, right? And then I have the notes A and C, so I get to keep the C there. I'm going to put down the note A. Oop. And it's the same concept. I'm still moving the fingers from the knuckle. I'm still bringing it into a ball like this, as I would with any kind of alternating free stroke. You know, it's the same as if I were doing the notes individually, C and E. But instead of doing them individually, I'm playing them at the same time. Then I have G sharp and B at the same time. G sharp and D. At this point, we should really get used to playing G sharp and D. That D with the fourth finger, because it's almost always going to have, you know, these other fingers are going to get used, right? And back to A and C. And so these measures here are nothing new. We saw A and C in measures 3 and 4. We saw C and E in the first two measures. So the big thing here is knowing that technique. It's the same thing as if we were doing alternating free stroke, except instead of doing one note at a time, we're going to do two notes at a time. So this particular exercise has two notes at the same time on adjacent strings, meaning the strings are next to each other. And even though G sharp and D look to be far apart, they're actually just on the strings next to each other. Okay, so I'm going to set this tempo down to 72. And I'm going to play through that nice and slowly. Remember, it's all free stroke. 1, 2, 3. Here it is. Use the fourth finger for D. Notice that this whole time I've kept P planted on the 6th string. That puts it in playing position for when I have to play again. Okay, so same deal with this. You can take that up to faster tempo as well. Say I take this up to 92. Here's what it looks like at a faster speed. 2, 3. Here it is. All right, so that's the big agenda for the day. It is a new thing, new motion, new action. So take the time, rewind the video, play along as much as you can, try it at different tempo markings.